What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, with another market watch today. Paisanos, I gotta say, you guys have been really working in the lab, figuring out what is the best way to build your deck so you have the best outcome of winning, obviously. And in this video, we're gonna talk about a lot of those tech cards that our players are either considering, currently playing, or more than likely waiting for it to ship to get to them. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, like button, comment down below. Comment question of the day. What deck are you playing right now? What deck are you looking forward to playing right now? I'll be honest with you, Paisanos. I have so many decks, and there's one in particular that I'm really excited about, and I'll probably tell you roughly around the end of the video, so definitely stay tuned for that. Geonator Transverser, a common coming out of Phantom Raid. It's amazing. It forces your opponent to make plays they don't want to make if they can. The card is a link to affect monsters, a link card. This link card and monsters it points to cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. If this card points to two monsters, you can switch control of them, of those two monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn. This card is absolutely ludicrous, hilarious, and it's a common, which is amazing. This should be a secret rare. Once again, it came out relatively new out of Phantom Raid, so you probably have it already. It's not really a market buy, but it's definitely a tech card I've seen a lot this past weekend, and I really want you guys, if you are looking to play, whatever deck you're looking to play, to at least consider putting this in your extra deck. Then we have Ellich. Well, I mean, Ellich Zoo is probably one of the most dominant decks of this weekend. Everyone's looking to play a deck because, let's be honest, you don't really need to add anything. The bans did nothing to the deck. If anything, the bans only helped the deck more due to the fact that I got rid of a lot of, well, problematic heavy first turn combo, multiple negate decks. So Ellich the Golden Lord obviously is going to see more play. But the maximum gold value of the card is still going down. Maximum gold Ellich the Golden Lord is roughly around $5. And if you're looking to get the Secret Slayer Secret version of the card, it was roughly around 40 something. The market price showing to be roughly around $42. But the card is actually roughly around 38. It does go back to 42, but I don't know if it's going to go back to 42. This card more than likely is going to be going lower before it actually starts going higher. It's not even stabilized yet in the market. Then we have Drytons, obviously the deck that everyone's talking about this weekend. Whether you're playing the deck, looking to play the deck, or playing against a deck, you better know what this deck does. You better know how to stop it, and once again, I'll have a lot of good ways to stop it in this video, but you really need to understand why this deck does what it does and how it has its win con. The second you get that, the second you fully grasp that, well, that's actually not that scary. It just looks really scary because it's really new. Drytons is still falling in value in the market, by the way. I mean, we're seeing collector's res cards like Quadrantids be $62. It's not even out yet, by the way. I mean, if you're in Europe, ignore what I just said. But here in the States, we still have a couple of days before Justice Impact's out. And Minianis Dryton, the big money card is set, $100. That's it. Down from his $120 pre-sale price. And if you just want to buy regular cards like Minianis Dryton, it's $14 for the ultra rare. If you want to buy the ultra rare Dryton Nova, that's gonna run you like $19. But overall, these cards are not expensive. They're relatively inexpensive. It almost feels like, and it's not to the level of, but it almost feels like a virtual world where it was when it first came out, it was scary. Nobody knew how to play around it. The minute everyone knew how to play around it, people still play it, but I mean, let's be honest, like, it's not as scary once you realize how to beat it. The thing about Drytons I really do, I think, is that there's multiple variations, and the market, the meta, the players, the casuals, they're all coming together to figure out what build is going to give them the best outcome of winning. And that's pretty hard. Maybe this week we're going to figure it out, maybe not. But they're still playing cards like Eva, a card coming out of Structure Deck Wave of Light. This ultra rare with around $3 market price. By the way, with shipping is literally almost around $4 to $5. And yeah, it's definitely a card. Came out in a Structure Deck, by the way. Then we have Cyber Angel Natasha, a tech card of the weekend. This is a super rare out of Raging Tempest. The same set, by the way, which brought a Zoo, ironically, which Zoo is one of the best decks. But anyway, Cyber Angel Natasha, super rare, with a $1 market price, is actually roughly around $4 to $5 with shipping included. This is definitely a card that's been seeing a lot of play this past weekend, and guarantee you it's still going to be in the decks and whatever build comes out of Drytons, because this card really is broken. We also have Vanity's Ruler. Now, Vanity's Ruler is another build of Drytons. I'm not excited about that build, but it's not bad, and your opponent doesn't have an answer, they basically could lose. So let's talk about it. The original print version of the card, coming out of Cyberduck Impact, it came out as a rare, but it also came out as an ultimate rare, back when Konami was giving us Ultimate Rares and Core sets, Paisanos. Oh, those are the days. You get a set and you're like, oh great, what's the good stuff though? And even if it wasn't like a good Ultimate Rare, you're still as excited when you pulled it because it's better than pulling a rare. It was just really cool. It's kind of felt like a little bit of a lottery on top of a lottery. Anyway, looking at Vantage Rules Ultimate Rare at a Cyberdark Impact with a $43 market price, you get Unlimited right now for roughly around $30. And that's only for the Unlimited. They're always relatively inexpensive. The first version, you got one over here for $45. After that one's gone, it's $55, and then it's $70. Just throwing out there. Just throwing out there if you are looking to pick up a Vantage Ruler. Like I said, I don't think this build's going to survive, but hey, I could be wrong. And if I am, this is definitely a card you're going to want to go ahead and grab. We also have Herald of Mirage Lights. Not seeing as much play, but definitely something that we want to talk about. It's an Omni Gate. That's a link. Also, you know, makes you send fairy monsters, has a lot of ritual stuff, basically has a lot of good stuff. It almost felt like this card, when it was created out in Dual Overload, Konami was like, you know what? This is going to be relevant when Drytons come out. Like I said, it's the card you're always going to be going into, but it's definitely a phenomenal option. And I feel like a lot of you players forgot about this card because, let's be honest with you, when Dual Overload was out, we were too busy focusing on other things, like a ton of other things, other than Herald of Mirage Lights. But I feel like this card now is more useful than ever. Right now, the price point of the card is roughly around like 26 cents in the market. You can get it dirt cheap, under $1, which should be included, for Herald of Mirage Lights. And like I said, if you don't have one, you might want to consider picking one of these up. We also have Celestial Observatory. Now, I don't know if this is a big thing for tech or not, but Celestial Observatory has only 2 printings. One's an ultra rare. I think it also came out of Dual Overload. But I want to talk about the secret rare that came out of Cybernetic Horizon. A secret rare which is slowly and quietly being cleaned out in the market. Celestial Observatory, secret rare, Cybernetic Horizon. It's $1.43 in the market price. Unlimited's a dirt cheap. They're like $2 with shipping. But if you want to buy a first edition version, they're slowly going away. I mean, if you want to buy a playset of this card, look at it. On page 1, you get 3 playsets, okay? And then when we talk about like multiple playsets where you get at least 3 more, let's just keep going because this is where it gets kind of tricky. Because you'll see a lot of name and first editions, sure, but you're paying $2 a pop for this card. That's that's roughly around $6, almost 7 shipping, whatever, and tax, for 3 cards. But look, keep going because we're looking for playsets, right? The playset Unlimited, okay, but that's not first edition. Here we go. A name and first edition version of the card. There's 11 copies by Core TCG. It's roughly around $3 a copy. So you're either spending roughly around $10, $11, and getting it shipped by Core TCG, which hopefully I guess would ship relatively fast. They're usually pretty good like that. Or you can buy from 3 sellers, and hopefully you'll have them all on time. A majority of people usually buy from sellers that have multiple listings. So when they get the playset, they just get it in at once, so they don't have to like play like this like half adjunct deck. I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway, I'm not even sure this card's up 3-up, by the way. In case you guys are confused what this card is, it's used in virtual worlds, I would guess. Once again, I don't 100% grasp it. I'm not going to pretend I do, but it says place 1 level 6 monster from your hand or face up from your field on the bottom of the deck. Draw 2 cards. You go and activate 1 Celestial Observatory once per turn. It just helps you cycle. That's basically all it does, and it's not bad at doing it. And in a deck like Virtual World, which does have bricking problems, playing cards like 3 Pot of Desires and you know 3 Celestial Observatory can help you unbrick. Obviously, there's more tech out there for the deck. I'm just talking about what I've seen so far, and if I find anything else new, I'll talk about another market watch. But that's not bad, to be honest with you. Once again, this is going to allow you. And by the way, level 6 monsters, so you can use a trap card. You guys level 6 now, boom, Celestial Observatory. But this is going to allow you to at least cycle your deck so you can at least draw decent cards. Because the biggest problem with Virtual World is always Virtual World. Like every deck has like a card they look at and they're like, oh, that's a problem. Virtual looks at themselves and goes, we're a problem. It's problematic to be us. But they're really good. But when they brick, you don't want to play the deck for like at least a week. Then we have Redeye Dragoon. In a mid-range format, this card is absolutely ludicrous. In a heavy combo-based format, this card is just a 1 extra combo or 1 extra piece to just shut your opponent down. In mid-range, this card is pretty insane. I mean, let's be honest, there's not many cards your opponent has that can easily out Redeye Dragoon. The card currently has a $34 market price, and you get it cheap as $32. Remember when this card was like 43 and everyone's like, oh, it's gonna go higher? Yeah, no, it didn't go higher. No, please. No, I didn't go higher because it's a Megaton card. Also, Redeye Dragoon, I think it's like a 1 of you only need. You don't need like 3 of these. And once again, I think this is a great card. Now, can it fit in every deck? No. But the decks it does fit in it, and when it works, it really does help a lot. Unless you get Kaiju, then if you know everything I just said. Alright, I know we're in the middle of the video, but I don't care. I just want to yell it from the top of the mountain. It's also 5 in the morning when I'm recording this video, but I just want to say, Ultigeist is back, kinda. I think Ultigeist Magistus, or specifically Ultigeist in general, is a really good deck. I love Ultigeist. I've been Geist gang for life. We don't, once you're in, boys. Listen, some people look down at Ultigeist, and then some people also get mad when you break through the combo. Some people, you know, go, Ultigeist is such a dumb deck, and then they spam the whole, like, Dragonlink combo, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm the honorable Dragonlinks. Same thing with Infernobles. You're like, really honorable for Nobles. Like, every player looks down at every other deck that's not their own. That's what it comes down to. As an Ultigeist player, I don't care if I'm multi-faker slapping you. Sorry, get good. Multi-faker's too strong. Oh, you don't like Siliquis? Siliquis is a broken card? Really? Broken card, you say? Oh, okay. I'm gonna bounce your VFD. Is that cool? Yeah, it's okay. Like, come on. Listen, Geisting's back. That's all I care about. Not only do all I care about is Geisting, dude, it's also amazing to see that this deck is made for mid-range. It is one of the very few control decks in this game, and this is a control deck. Don't get it twisted. That can play the mid-range game. That wants to play the mid-range game. Against heavy combo form, when you have 3 negates, this deck is not that good. But now that the fact that a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are trying to play in the mid-game, this deck shines phenomenally. And for a lot of people out there right now watching this video, if you don't want to get engaged in whatever new thing Konami throws your way, whatever new thing Konami is like, you have to buy this, just pick up Ultigeist. The deck is also insanely inexpensive. Prismatic Secret Rare multi-figures start as low as 50 cents a copy. You don't need a lot of money to play Ultigeist. You don't even need to play extensive builds. I know some people out there going, well, you need extravagance, even though it's been reprinted multiple times. Sure, you don't want to play extravagance? No big deal. You can still use public knowledge, you can still use the Zai's duality, and they have a multitude of printings. All you need to do is play Geist. Join the gang. I'm telling you, you don't need to listen to anything anyone says about that. Oh, Dragon's doing this and doing that. Geist don't care. Oh, Virtual World, you made 1 VFD? 1 VFD? That's your play? Alright, I guess I'm just gonna have to spam combo on you, like break your board up. This is what I love about this meta, the mid-range meta. Decks like Ultigeist can actually really see play, and I think they're going to see a lot more play. And I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players who are not ready for this, well, they're gonna lose this. By the way, if you're gritting your teeth because I've said how much I love my Ultigeist, I do have an answer how to stop Ultigeist, as well as many other cards that majority of us already know that's really good against Ultigeist. This isn't the best deck in the meta, but it's definitely a contender. Up next, Goldmeister. Goldmeister is one of those cards that I don't like. Now, it says when a card effect's activated, your opponent controls, you can get rid of this your opponent's graveyard, you pitch Goldmeister, and then you negate the activation effect in the graveyard. It's basically what it says, boom, right there. If you want the secret rare, Astral Strike Blast, with a $28, almost $29 market price. There's a listing right now, I mean, there's $125, after that, it's roughly around like 29 bucks for a Skullmeister. And don't get me wrong, I think this is a really good card, but not in this meta. I feel like there's better cards. I'll get to that in this video, but it's not a terrible card. This is for the secret rare. Obviously, if you want the cheaper ones, we have commons and super rares all day long, and you probably already have this and don't even realize it. That's how like easy this card is to get. Same with Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion. Basically, if things happen in Graveyard, you just take Ghost Spell, you throw it in a Graveyard, and your opponent can't do nothing. We recently got a reprint of the card in Premium Gold. Obviously, you have the Dual Power, Alternate Art, Dual Devastator, and the Secret Rares, which the version I kind of like the most, to be honest with you. With a $12 market price, the light you play on limits are roughly around 8s. But if you want a first edition version of the Secret Rare version of Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion, even to collect your Ghost Spell collection, a light you play first edition version of the card starting roughly around $18 to $19 a copy for Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion. Now, Evenly Matched is one of those cards that are really good in the mid-range format. I have Lightning Storms, and I like Lightning Storms, but I feel like Evenly Matched does so much more. It forces your opponent to play cards they don't want to play immediately. And don't get me wrong, with Lightning Storm, yeah, you can still get your battle phase, but you gotta pick, and it depends on the circumstances of the game if you can pick the front row or back row. But with Evenly Matched, you just go battle phase, and your opponent just knows already what's gonna happen. The fear of just having nothing, drawing off your turn, and just taking battle phase automatically changes the entire mentality of your opponent. Think about it. Your opponent just spent their whole time trying to create this amazing board, and you draw. You know you can't go into battle phase, but you still say battle phase. You just took your opponent's brain, and you just took it out of their head, and you punted it. They have to now run and grab their brain when you say main phase 2, and chuckle, in order to get back in the mentality of what they gotta do in order to shut you down. That's the power of this card. It's just the fear of Evenly Matched is absolutely ludicrous. This card's an amazing card. Every mid-range deck, especially control decks like Alta guys, also lose really hard to this card. Hey, you had your Solemn Judgments? You know, you don't have the you pay half your life points dot card? Alright, cool. Get rid of everything, keep one. Have fun with that. This is what this card does, and it does it very well. A lot of players know that. A lot of players are citing it, more than likely. And wouldn't be surprised if this card's almost a staple in the side deck moving forward in the meta. I'm shocked Konami really didn't hit this card in balance, to be honest with you. It's that good. Then we have Ice Dragon Prisons. I love this card, but God, it's so much money for an ultra rare out of Rise of the Duelists. The card has a $27 market price, and then you look over here, and yet, no, it's not lying to you. It's actually, after this one over here sold, that's roughly around $29, it's about $30 a copy for an ultra rare, Rise of the Duelists. What? And it's a phenomenal card. Like, it's not a terrible card. It's the thing, too. Like, you kind of need to play this card if you want to play a mid-range game. If you don't have it, you might want to start trading for it. I mean, hey, you got cards like Trap Trick that can also cheat this card out. You got Trap Trick that can also cheat other cards out. By the way, Cigarette Trap Trick got a Soul Fusion with a $10 market price on limits of roughly around $9. They're starting to go back up in value. They're roughly around $12 for shipping. And they're going to go higher for Trap Trick, obviously. If you want the Cigarette, once again, out of Soul Fusion, no big deal. Luckily, they did get a couple of reprints. You get as low as like less than $1. So you can grab that. But if you want the Cigarette, it's going to cost you more. This is another yet broken card. Especially when you want to play a card like Dimensional Barrier. Yes, Dimensional Barrier. Now that there's like no like really heavy combo deck, D-Barrier is pretty broken. You just D-Barrier your opponent and go, yeah, you're playing Drytons, right? Ritual. And your opponent just looks at their hand and goes, okay, well guess what? Pass my turn, don't murder me, please. And then you just murder them. Listen, D-Barrier is a phenomenal card that a lot of you players are also starting to play. Obviously, it's not only good against the newest Dryton deck that's out already, that's going to be coming out, or out already, depending where you are, but it's also good against almost every deck in the meta. I think the only deck it's kind of not good and decent, really kinda, would probably be Ellich, but then again, Ellich play Ellich Zodiac, so when they summon their Zodiac monster in attack mode, you just D-Barrier them, you say Xyz, and they have a 400 attack Zodiac monster looking at you. And hopefully you don't smack it. You're going to, by the way, more than likely. D-Barrier is a phenomenal card. And yes, it has a bunch of other printings, but if you want the original print Secret Rare, out of Invasion Vengeance, with an almost near $4 market price, the limits are roughly around $3 with shipping, and you want a first edition D-Barrier? Alright, so let's see. I actually don't know where this is. Oh, it's right around $6 a copy. $6. This will be getting cleaned out as we move into the meta. Like, what? Unless Konami goes back to making a tier 1 only pure Link deck, Goki's, I'm looking at you. This is probably going to be yet another great side deck staple. No matter what deck you're playing against, this card will probably at one point during the meta, during that game state, you would wish you had. Or if you have it, you're probably going to want to activate. Obviously, you also got another phenomenal card, Anti-Spell Fragrance, which I just saw. Another great card, but I don't know if you have enough room in your side deck to play cards like D-Barrier, Evenly Match, and what have you. We also have Crackdown. Once again, 2020-10 Lost Memories is a terrible set for value. But if you go back to my previous market watch, the only card I kept talking about in that set is Crackdown. This is the only card I said is going to have money. It's going to be worth money. Right now, it's really not as much worth as much money, but there's so much potential behind this card. It's ludicrous. Think about it. Any card that takes your opponent's monster, anything that says, I take your monster, is either banned, heavily restricted, or so badly, mutilated by the ban list, but the deck is, you just don't want to play it. Sorry, Scott Sugar players, okay? Scott Sugar players, I'm sorry. Hopefully you win this event this past weekend. Today's Saturday, this video will be on Sunday. Not rooting for you. I don't care, Striker players. You had your time in the sun. Listen, looking at Crackdown, it's obviously the next best card. It just takes your opponent's monster. Activate this card by targeting one face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of that monster. Put a period in that. Boom. Now, it can't attack or activate effects, but it really doesn't matter. You can just take your opponent's monster, and then next turn, you just, like, do more Yu-Gi-Oh! Things. Against any, especially if you're looking to play in the... if you're playing like Zodiac and you have a mirror match, and you're playing Altergeist and you just want to take your opponent's big card just to move out the way so you can smack him in the... Like, this card has so much application for the entire meta. And I feel like, once again, more and more as time goes on, it's going to see so much more play than what it currently is seeing right now. The card, Prismatic Secret Rare, has roughly around a $2 price point. $2 a copy. It's going to go higher. Mark my words. Either Konami hits it and it doesn't, or it goes higher and then Konami hits it. It's going to hit either way. Then we have Denko Sekka. I love this card. So if you're looking to play something, and this is me just, once again, spitballing some ideas, but virtual world players, or maybe even Dragon play. Can Dragon players play this? I don't think they can play this. Anyway, virtual world players, this card's amazing. This is your game 2 and 3 card. You play against any kind of Ellich variant, you just calmly put Denko Sekka down, you'll play your virtual world spell, or the other spell that sets you a spell trap, and then you proceed to just spam it in their face. Oh, you got an Elder Dragoon on board? Great. Here's Denko Sekka. You want to change your card keys? I'm joking, you can't. Like, this card's amazing. And as time goes on, as the meta is what it is mid-range, if we get more aggressive decks, but it can still be mid-range, like what we see with Virtual World, we're going to see this card see a lot more play. Now, is it going to go up in value? Probably not. I mean, it's a common in structure like Spirit Charmers, Dual Devastator, Ultra Rares and Megatins, Ultra Rares and original print. I personally prefer the Secret Rare, by the way. Out of Bounce Legends / Revenge. It's like $1 to $2 each, by the way. So, I mean, this is what I personally prefer, but there's no wrong answers. This is a great card to play right now that a lot of players are realizing yet. But the minute we see players actually start playing this more, it's going to be a big deal. Also, ask any Pendulum player about Renko Deca. They eat this card up. The minute the meta is ready for Pendulums, in any form or fashion, they're probably going to be playing this card. Because the minute they play against anybody, they're going to put it on board and say, you better have the answer immediately, or else I'm ending this game. Because I don't think your hand traps can beat what Pendulums can do, depending if they are playing in that kind of mid-range kind of format. Listen, I think this is a phenomenal card that nobody's really looking at right now, and I think it's definitely highly underrated, and after time goes on, people are going to start picking this up. When are you going to? We also have Forbidden Droplet coming out of Rise of the Duelist. Now, we know this card's going to be seed play this weekend, and it did. We know this card's going to be worth money, and it is, but we don't know where it's going to go. I think this card is going to break past $100. Rise of the Duelist is a phenomenal set. It has a lot of great cards. Triple Attack the Talents. I mean, everything Dogmatica for the most part. And Forbidden Droplet is no different. The card currently has an $88 market price, but if you go over here, you can see it as low as $91. This card is going to break past 100, no doubt in my mind. I think everyone's trying to figure out what's the best deck for the meta, what deck's going to win, and whatever the top 4 decks are, or 8 decks, or whatever it is, they're probably going to be having Forbidden Droplet in it. And it has to be the case, or at least in the side deck, this card's going to rise in value. Keep an eye on this card, because this is the low price of the card. It's going to go higher. Then we have Draw and Lockboard. Not really Draw Board, but it's just, I mean, it's not $30 for the card. Anyway, Draw and Lockboard's a card I said is going to hit $120, and it's going to. This Ultimate Rare coming out of OTS 1 Pack 8 with a $94 price point is actually down. It's roughly around $92. This guy has 13 copies of them. And to be honest with you, this card's not going to be $91 for long. It's going to break past $120. It's a phenomenal card that is slowly, in certain players, seeing main deck play. Other players are seeing side deck play. Nevertheless, Draw and Lockboard is back in the game. And it's broken. It's really good. And it's going to shut down a lot of decks. Resolving Draw right now, first turn against a majority of decks in the meta, will more than likely allow them either to pass turn with a weak board or pass turn with no board. And in any deck that's mid-range that wants to have that tempo to go first to get all their sets locked in, Draw and Lockboard is music to their ears. This is a phenomenal card, and I feel like a lot of you players are either looking at this card and debating on picking it up, or maybe have other versions of the card. I mean, once again, just get a reprint as an alternate rare in that gold set. But to be honest with you, Draw and Lockboard, realistically, ultimate rare is the best one. My favorite card out of this weekend is Ellich Justice Psycho Reader. This card, first of all, the 2.3 version with like $1 market price, you know, it's bought out. I mean, that was about, I think like half an hour ago, maybe first page, maybe someone listed another one, JK's bought out. There are other versions of this card, and it kind of has that same weird fate. Like, let's say Hidden Arsenal 3. Once again, you want to buy first edition versions of Ellich Justice Psycho Reader, right? You want to buy your playset. Obviously, first edition, I would guess. All right. We have one listed over here. That's about $1 and change. You go to page 2. There's another solo listing over here. Solo listing. I mean, you gotta buy sporadic solo listings, and that'll run you about $6-7 for the cards. Go to over here, page 3. Once again, solo listings. Go to page 4. 1s and 2s. We're not seeing any 3s yet. When you go to page 5, 7, but that's unlimited. Get wrecked. Then you gotta place it over here of the card. Let you play first edition, which is roughly around $2. So no matter what, you're paying around $7 for the Hidden Arsenal 3 version of Ellich Justice Psycho Reader. Oh, you want to check out the OTS 1 Pack 3? Sure. These aren't first editions, so it doesn't really matter. Do we get any first editions? Yeah. At roughly around $3 for shipping over here, and this guy has about 12 of them. 3 pages left on TCG Player. The reason I want to point out about this card is because this card absolutely smacks Dritons in their face. A lot of people started to play like DD Crow, which is not a bad card. It's really not a bad card. But DD Crow does not answer the problem. I mean, if you're playing DD Crow, you're pretty much playing against two decks. Dritons or, yeah, no, I want to get rid of Ellich, the Golden Lord, who, by the way, is light. So I want to get rid of the light monster out of the graveyard, and you're playing DD Crow. Not bad, not bad. I like just the Cycle Reader does that. But for 2. I mean, that's basically, it's also a level 3 machine tuner, in case that kind of, you know, it's kind of relevant, in case you are playing like Needle Fiber or whatever. But overall, this card is a better DD Crow. Once again, if you're playing DD Crow, you're only playing against 2 decks. And against Dritons, this card is a hammer. A lot of Dritons like to abuse Ben 10. They like to start off their combo by having a good amount of monsters on graveyard. And with Allergists and Cycle Readers, you can shut their turn down. Now, I don't think you shut the turn down as easily as you can by resolving Draw and Lockboard, but you can still shut the turn down nevertheless by having additional copies of this card in your side deck or main, and eventually putting in your main deck to play against them. If anyone doesn't know what this card does, during either player's turn, you can discard this card to the graveyard, then target up to 2 light monsters in your opponent's graveyard, banish those targets. This card is absolutely insane, and I really feel like a lot of players kind of forgot about this card, but once again, after today, this video, maybe this weekend, a lot of players are going to start remembering that this card is really good at shutting down Dritons, really good at getting those golden boys out the graveyard. Once again, it's target up to 2 light monsters, up to, meaning if there's only 1 golden lord, you can still Cycle Reader that golden lord, getting it out of the graveyard, stopping the plays, and looking at a lot of these Ellich Zodiac, by the way, these Ellich Zodiac variants, they're for the most part running 2 Golden Lords. They're not running like 3 Golden Lords in an Ellich Zodiac or almost any variant. So if you Cycle Reader a Golden Lord, that's pretty good. Now you got a deck full of trap cards, and then you got some Zodiacs, and that's that deck. Okay, against Dritons, well, time this card right, and you could break their combo mid game, shutting them down. Well, mid combo, should I say, shutting them down. Listen, this is a phenomenal card. It's a little bit pain to buy, but if you have this already, which some players might have it, if you got OTS Pack 3 singles lying around, it's definitely a great card to put in your side deck to stop those kind of decks. Anyway, Paisanos, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe. Oh, real quickly, I should have mentioned in the beginning of this video. I forgot. This video is up already. Well, today is Saturday. It's 5 in the morning. It's already up already for anybody that wants to watch it. But that's only for those who are in my Discord. If you're not in my Discord, come over and check it out. Join the Discord. Because what's happening is, what I'm probably going to be doing is, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to upload it to YouTube. I'm going to give everybody the link in Discord, so they'll have the access to it first. And then the video will eventually come out for everybody. This video will probably be up around, I'm going to say, I'll probably do it early on Sunday if I had to guess. But yeah, it's Saturday. It's 5:30 right now. Probably around like 6:37 in the morning on Saturday. Everyone is having it and getting the access to this video early. And if you want access to this video early, like I said, all you gotta do, join the Discord. Anyway, Paisanos, I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos have a great day.